Hello everyone, and welcome to my latest video titled, You Find Your Spirituality Through Your Trauma. You want to know something that pisses me off is that so many people in the spiritual industry, they love to just like dance and just skirt around their core issues. You know what I mean? It's like, I'm going to do like a quantum energy healing, fucking vibrational sound ceremony 3 times a week, but I'm like, not going to go to a somatic therapist and deal with like my core root trauma of like my codependency and why I can't have a healthy relationship. So many spiritual people love to just like do the non-essential healing. They love to do all types of healing work, except for the healing work that they actually need. Is this something that you guys have seen before or experienced before? It happens all the fucking time. They love to do all the fluff healing, because it allows their spiritual ego to feel like, oh my God, I'm evolving. I'm an enlightened human being. I'm doing all these different things to evolve me. Look at me. I'm on a higher vibrational plane, but they're not dealing with the shit in the root chakra. They're not dealing with that core root trauma. They're not dealing with their father wound, their mother wound. And guess what happens there? We stay all up here, right? We stay higher vibrational energy. And now what happens is a spiritual experience has to become compartmentalized to a human experience. It means that we do everything to ascend, but it feels like we're fucking floating. Basically what it is like all these spiritual people don't have fucking legs. They're like, they have wings, but they don't have feet. We need wings and feet so we can have a divine experience here in the human realm. They love to do all this sort of non-essential spiritual fluff, this little airy-fairy pixie dust without dealing with their core issues. And then you have a lot of these very pragmatic practitioners who are like, they talk about the nervous system embodiment as a different experience than a spiritual experience. There's so much about the nervous system, and they have this experience of the nervous system, then they talk about spirituality over here. Well, this new paradigm that we're moving into, spirituality and the nervous system are the exact same fucking thing. Because what we're actually doing is we're having to move through our trauma, to expand the capacity of our body and our nervous system to hold more energy from the higher constellations through our body. This is why you find spirituality through your trauma, through your very deeply rooted of the earth trauma. Because when you do that, now what happens is your root chakra can open, you descend energy into the earth. Now there's an orchestration where all the energy centers in your body begin to open. The crown begins to open. You begin to access ancestral energy. You begin to clear the ancestral field all through your body, past lives, all this different stuff. And you can actually begin to access the higher vibrational plane energy in your body at rest. You have the nervous system capacity to have a divine experience in the human flesh. We're bringing the 24D to the 3D. You find your spirituality through your trauma. And when you do, you don't need a spiritual discipline. You don't need a spiritual practice. You become the transmission. Because now what happens, if you are anointed by God, if you are someone who is chosen to move into a higher constellation, has a big purpose, if you're an old soul and you have an attunement and sensitivity, body sensitivity to the energy, when you begin to work with your trauma, there's a natural facilitation that's going to happen. Your body's going to begin to move and align to this sort of divine embodiment, where all your chakras, all your different energy centers are going to begin to open and increase your capacity of the energy you can hold. And so when you move your core root trauma, what's happening is you're beginning the process of actually clearing your vessel. You're beginning the process of clearing your vessel so you can actually hold more energy. So you can actually increase your nervous system capacity to hold the full energetic capacity of your capability. So you can actually begin to sync up your body with this sort of universal flow of energy and move it through your body. And then what happens here is you don't really need a spiritual discipline or spiritual practice because your body's already keyed into the process. And deep of the earth trauma work is the entry point. Your trauma is the entry point to your spirituality. When you really heal your trauma at this deep of a level in the body, and you are someone who is anointed and called by God, then trauma and spirituality are synonymous. Trauma becomes the entry point, the holy gates to a spiritual experience. And now the nervous system is totally synonymous with spirituality. And now what happens is we can have a divine experience here on earth. And we can look at all these people who are doing all this spiritual fluff, and we can really feel. We can really feel when someone is too higher vibration or too low vibration, meaning someone is too of the sky or someone is too of the earth. Because when you move into this transmission, when you're anointed by God, when you really heal your core of the earth trauma, you really begin to purge and move that through your vessel to clear your vessel to hold more energy. Now you begin to connect heaven to earth. You go earth and sky combined. You grow wings and feet simultaneously. You can feel when someone's too root or too crown. You can see those spiritual people who are dancing around in fluff, who are fucking doing all the quantum leaping vibrational sort of past life retrieval, all this shit, but they're ignoring what's in their root. Which is why their ego is so in spinning out in all this sort of spiritual work they're doing, because there's a block in their core root trauma. And so they need to spin out in that higher vibrational ego self-inflation activities because they can't actually bring it to the earth. They can't let go. There's an aspect of them that's trying to control, trying to survive so they don't have to meet their deepest shit. And then those other people who are too of the earth, that they think that somehow the nervous system and embodiment and psychology is different than spirituality. And you can feel these people are probably afraid of magic. They probably don't trust it. There's some aspect of being judgmental, being overly pragmatic, being afraid of their power. And what happens when they see people who are tapped into both? It threatens again their space. Aspects of them, they're afraid. Maybe they have spiritual gifts and they're fucking terrified. What would happen if my crown opened? Holy shit! What would I do with that power? That person, is tapped in a quantum realm. They must be ungrounded. They have to be. Because if they're tapped into the quantum realm and they're also grounded, then I'm fucked. Then I'm fucked in the paradigm that I have created, that my ego has created, then I'm fucked. So they hold on to. Again, it becomes an act of self-preservation. Ooh, that's weird. That's weird. I don't trust that. I don't know what that is. You find your spirituality through your trauma. This is a big part of the new paradigm that's coming through. What happens? You're someone who's an old soul. You're sensitive. Your body's sensitive, and you are meant to become anointed by God. You do enough somatic embodiment work to heal your trauma. The divine process begins. God begins to come through you. Earth and sky, heaven and earth. I see this all the time, and this is such a big part of the paradigm. You see these very pragmatic nervous system teachers and these very fluffy. I love when the spiritual people just dance around. It's like, let's fucking, you know what I mean? Some people, they're always dancing. You know when you see fucking people that are always dancing, it basically means they're dancing around their core issues. When they're always fucking dancing and prancing in their videos, they're dancing around their core issues because they're terrified. If I actually go there and I actually meet that worthiness, whoa, then all of a sudden my paradigm's going to become shattered. This is the new paradigm that we're stepping into. You find your spirituality through your trauma. Your trauma is the barrier to entry to having a divine experience here on earth. And then what happens is you don't have to go to any sort of prayer ceremony. You don't have to go to sort of any fucking ascension circle. You are the transmission. You are the cathedral, bitch. That's what happens. You are the shrine, baby. Lives through your body. And all those pragmatic people think you're all woo-woo. When you feel grounded as fuck, you got God in the soil, baby. You're making dirt angels with angel wings, motherfucker. That's what's happening.